Hi everybody, welcome back to the Positive Prepper. I thought I'd go outside since it's a decent day out. I hope that the wind does not get in the way of the audio, so we'll see how this goes. So today I really want to talk about the empty shelves. That's kind of the focus of this video. Remember back about a year ago, who could forget, right? When COVID hit and everybody did a run on the stores and toilet paper was gone, personal hygiene products were gone, food was gone, paper towels, cleaning supplies, you name it, the store shelves were empty. It's still happening today, which is, it's over a year later. And good luck finding canning jars. And oddly enough, weird things like dry erase board cleaner, the spray stuff you put on there. Yeah, haven't been able to find that. It's just weird, some of the stuff. And in that short, quick hello I did the other day, talking about the Walmart bags in one of my local Walmarts. Crazy stuff, right? Canned cat food is becoming harder to get a hold of. Seems like those shelves are emptying off more. So that's kind of, again, it's just, I don't know. I don't know what goes in people's minds about the stuff that they are cleaning the shelves out on. And maybe there was a big run on cats and everybody just needed the food. But just, I guess, just an off remark for that is if you have pets, don't forget them in your prepping supplies. So your dog food, cat food, kitty litter, that kind of stuff. So now it's been over a year and the shelves really haven't been fully stocked. We noticed this the other day, actually in a few different stores, that there are a lot of empty places still on those shelves. And imagine what it's going to be like if the spark is lit that completely shuts down the country or is devastating, right? So whether it's a war, a world war, a civil war, whatever it is, economic collapse, you name it. The geopolitical landscape is changing pretty fast. So we don't know from which direction that proverbial first shot is going to be fired. Whichever way it comes, our already unstable economic situation is going to implode on itself. And the disruptions in our supply chains are going to probably become just horrific as far as being able to restock anything anywhere at any given time. Y'all have heard that the car manufacturers are having trouble getting chips because they can't get the semiconductors, right? But that doesn't just affect cars, and it doesn't just affect the United States. Cell phones, radios, anything with that kind of technology in it. So your cell phones and countries like Japan and South Korea are all affected by this chip shortage. Now imagine on a global scale, everybody's trying to get these chips. It's going to take a long time for that to get back up where it's at least close to some kind of a normal distribution of those. And then we have to look at the ports of entry in California, the Los Angeles port and the Long Beach port. And they have been clogged for months with ships unable to come in and unload. Part of the reason for that was when COVID hit, everybody went out and mass bought. And that I believe it's like 20% or something that of consumer spending went up. And then the businesses also since then have been trying to restock their shelves. So everybody's fighting over the commodities, but the commodities aren't able to be unloaded off of the ships in the ports in California. So, and then you also have fewer workers, right? Because of the COVID guidelines. And then the way that they are actually unloading the ships, they've changed, and I'm not going to say this right, so please forgive me. Don't send me hate mail. I'm not going to say it right. Something to do with the way that they inspect the cargo. So if cargo is coming into Walmart, or coming in for Walmart, right? I don't know why we just can't assume that it's Walmart cargo, right? Let those suckers get out of there and inspect something that's, you know, Amazon or some, I don't know. But I would think that doing this is slowing down the process rather than speeding it up. And so that's making it worse. So there are 300,000 containers waiting on any given day to be offloaded from the ships to be put onto trucks. Think about that. 300,000 on any given day. So you imagine, you know, how it already is and how it's been in the past. It's not going to take much for a spark to completely destroy whatever semblance we have of getting back to some sort of normalcy in our goods and services. And then you have to include in that all of the fissures in our country, the racial divides, economic divides, political divides. We can't even agree as a community about whether masks should be mandated or not. And that's a little thing. Imagine all of these bigger things. We're not going to be able to come to any sort of peace in any of this until somebody steps up and says, all right, kids, you know, sit down and listen to the teacher. This is how we're going to do this. I believe we had that for 4 years, not that long ago. Everybody was sitting down and listening. Well, not everybody. But it's gotten worse. You know, the rioting that happened last summer, you know, we've got this big case right now going on that I'm not going to say one way or the other what I think or believe. It doesn't matter. That's up to the judge and jury. My concern, however, and I'm going to be real about this, is that if the jury feels a certain way but decides to do something else because of the consequences of their initial belief, I don't believe that that's fair or right or just. And I don't believe it would be fair to us as Americans. It certainly wouldn't be fair to the defendant. It wouldn't be fair to certain communities. My gut tells me that that's what's going to happen. And that's about as far as I'm going to go on there right now. I don't want to get off on that tangent. So we are being bombarded by crisis after crisis, and we are going to continue to see these empty shelves. And one little spark is all it's going to take to get all of this to just blow up. Okay? So start taking what money you can every week and start buying things. Even the little things like duct tape and nails, toothpaste, Q-tips, right? Go to the dollar store. You know, a lot of this stuff you can get for like 99 cents. Take $10, $20, $30 a week if you can afford it, and start buying this stuff. Medical tape. Don't forget the medical tape. Multivitamins. right? Just start getting some of these odds and endy things, because it's not going to be long and you're not going to be able to find these things, unfortunately. So where's the positive in this? You know, we're bombarded by this all the time. How can we possibly have anything good in it? Well, I want to tell you something. The other day, and in my quick hello video, I mentioned the fact that, you know, Walmart didn't have any bags, right? On the way home, my husband and I were talking, and I said, you know, I've got this rock in my stomach right now. Not because I'm scared. You know, we're prepared. We're ready. We'll deal with whatever comes. But a lot of my family, my loved ones, are not. Either they just, you know, they're working on it, which is good, or they think that either having money in the bank or having a couple of boomsticks is going to be good enough. It's really hard to convince them that you need actual physical, tangible preps. Get that money out of the bank, turn it into silver or gold, or keep some cash on hand, whatever. Don't rely on the banks, especially in an economic collapse, to shield you, right? And again, as I've said in other videos, having a boomstick is great, but it's not going to protect you from, I should say, it's not going to feed your family. It's not going to find water for you. It's not going to shelter you. You know, you need to have actual, tangible preps. So use what money you have and start getting them. It hasn't hit the fan yet. It's not here yet. Every day that we have this sort of relative calmness is a day that you can use towards your prepping. And again, for the long term, think in terms of no power, and think in terms of necessities to survive. If you're having trouble getting some of the items that you need, work with your MAG group, or find a MAG group, or talk to people in other MAG communities. MAG, again, is Mutual Assistance Group. For example, where I live, I can get Freedom Seeds. We still have them. But there's other preps that are quite a bit harder for us to find. So I would be willing to trade Freedom Seeds for some of these other prep items that I'm having a harder time finding. Trading and bartering, that's part of those necessary skills, right, that you need in an SHTF environment. So start working on that. Look at what you need. Look at whether you can get it or not, and find a way to barter or trade to get the items that you need if you can't find them locally. That's why God made us social animals. You know, packs have a better chance of survival than a lone wolf, in my opinion. Others might differ on that, and that's okay. But I couldn't do this alone. I love the fact that I have a group that I can depend on, not just for the resources and the supplies, but also the emotional and mental well-being as well. So when I feel that rock in my stomach coming home from Walmart, I can call them up, or I can FaceTime them, and I can be like, oh my gosh, this is how I felt today, and it was horrible, and what do we do? You know, help me refocus. And they're wonderful. I love it. I love that we can do that. So that's all I've got for today. Guys, it's coming. We're not going to get away from it. Take each day that you can, that we have, and try to get some more preps built up. Remember, stack it to the rafters, stack it again. Thanks for watching The Positive Prepper. Please hit that subscribe and notification bell, and hopefully a thumbs up. God bless.